Today we're talking about cilantro oil. And cilantro oil and I have a very special connection, a really serious relationship. When I was in time of need and I was suffering so bad, I was in bed for a few days, like 3 days. I had a lot of discomfort right about this area. I had to pee every second and it hurt so bad to pee.
Yeah, I had to help her out of bed, help her to the bathroom, help her back to bed, help her get into bed. So it was not good.
It was horrible. And Jeff had told me what it was and he made me a blend.
Yeah, and then I had to go that evening. This is the first day this was going on. That evening, I was scheduled to speak at an event about an hour and a half away. And so before I left, I called her sister. I said, hey, Katie, can you come over and sit with Megan while I'm gone? I'll be back in a few hours. Next thing you know, I get a phone call. They're in the emergency room.
Okay, because even though we knew what it was, I had to know what it was. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. So we knew what it was because of where it was and the amount of discomfort and suffering that I was in. But just to hear it, a second opinion.
And they wanted to admit her, put her on IV drugs and all this.
Right, which obviously didn't happen. So when the doctor said that, I all of a sudden was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Like, I'm fine. I can walk out. And they looked at me and they're like, this girl's crazy. But anyways, came back home and then I knew what we had to do to make us feel much better. So
we already knew what it was. So I made her, as soon as this started to happen, I made her a blend. Cilantro is one of the main oils. Megan will tell you the other ones. And we applied it right here on the side of her back, and did that 4 times a day for 3 days. After 3 days, completely better, out of bed, back to normal, teaching yoga, teaching bar classes, running the kids around.
Like a crazy
No problem.
lady.
So tell them what was in there.
So it was cilantro oil, juniper berry, lemon, oregano, and On Guard was the blend in a roller. And I can't even express to you guys how much cilantro oil just helped me feel so much better. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, so the reason why cilantro is such a powerful oil, a lot of times people, if you look at the research, they use cilantro and coriander synergistically because coriander is actually the seed of the cilantro plant. So it's a really cool essential oil. But the major molecule, there's 2 main molecules. One is linalool, which we've heard before, and the other is aldehydes. And there's a lot of research about those two molecules, but we'll talk about linalool first and then how it works for different kinds of seasonal threats and pathogens that are out there and how we use it. But with linalool has been studied. It affects the monoaminergic system in our brain that is responsible for the release of serotonin and dopamine. So that when we're feeling sad, when we're feeling depressed, when we just aren't feeling good, we can ingest cilantro. And cilantro tastes, it's a really
sweet.
Yeah, it's
super
a
sweet.
really mild flavor. You wouldn't think it's like a strong. You wouldn't think of it as mild because it's a really powerful herb. But when you ingest a few drops in a capsule or just drop it directly into your mouth, it affects that part of our brain and works on that system so that those feelings of sadness start to dissipate and we can start feeling much, much better. So that's one aspect of cilantro and how we use it. The next one, it's really good for digestion. It aids in digestion. As you know, in the Digest Zen blend has coriander, which cilantro is very similar. But so it's good for digestion after you eat a big meal and you feel stuffed and full.
Like today.
Like today. Put a little cilantro on your stomach or ingest it. Lastly, it is a very good natural detoxifier and cleanser for our body. A lot of detox products that are on the market contain cilantro essential oil or coriander or some of the other oregano, some of these powerful herb-based essential oils because of the cleansing properties, the detoxifying properties that they have. And then finally, this is really cool, and this is how this oil affected Megan when she was having this issue. There's a 2017 study that I'll put below that I would highly encourage you guys to look at. It's an amazing, amazing study. What they're finding in the food industry now is that all the chemical preservatives are not working against the different pathogens that are contaminating our food. So there's more foodborne illness today than ever before because of these bacterias and these funguses starting to replicate. Their DNA is mutating and changing, and so the synthetic preservatives just aren't working anymore. Not to mention they're terrible for our health.
Horrible.
But so this study showed that cilantro essential oil used as a preservative acts very powerfully against gram-positive, gram-negative bacteria, and also different types of fungus and other pathogens, which you can read about in this study. So gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria would be, some examples of those would be like staph, strep, MRSA, Shigella, E. coli, Salmonella, and these dangerous bacteria that can get in our foods and cause massive infections in our body. The food industry is actually looking at cilantro to be used as a preservative. So therefore, this is an oil that you should always use in your cooking. It's another one that's in our spice cabinet. You can add it to your foods.
Which is different. Like, I'm not a cilantro fan as an herb, but the oil, I love it. It tastes so much better and sweeter, and
yeah, put it in your tacos, put it in your guacamole.
It's so good.
Yeah, so it's a great oil to add to foods. And then the very last thing I want to talk about is the aroma and diffusing cilantro. Our favorite way to use cilantro in the diffuser is with a citrus oil. So if you mix like 5 or 6 drops of your favorite citrus oil with 5 or 6 drops of cilantro essential oil, it just softens the citrus and gives it a nice warm herbal aroma, and it's a very cleansing blend to diffuse in your home. So this is cilantro, and anytime Megan is teaching a class,
always everyone needs cilantro oil.
Yeah, anytime they're like, well, what are the oils that we absolutely need? We talk about our basics, and then we always add cilantro.
And they always get cilantro now.
So thanks for watching, you guys. Coriander is coming tomorrow. Comments below, questions, private messages, shares. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.